welcome to episode 4 of To Tech For You. Today we are joined with Lucas Correia. Thank you so much for joining us, Lucas.
Thank you for inviting me.
Welcome. It's an absolute pleasure, and also, as always, my lovely colleague Vivica. And today we're going to be asking Lucas some questions, and I don't know if you want to just start by giving a short introduction about you, who you are, where you came from, anything like that.
Well, name's Lucas. I'm 23 years old. I'm originally from Brazil. Before I came to the Netherlands, I used to live in Portugal for 5 years. So also studied mechatronics both in Brazil and Portugal. And I currently live in the Netherlands.
Oh, well, awesome. Yes. Thank you so much, Lucas. And what is something that obviously you came through Eindhoven at the place you're now working? What is something Eindhoven did for you that you won't forget? Anything?
Oh, find me a temporary place right away. That was I noticed after I got here, housing is a really, really big thing, and it's not easy. It's definitely not easy, especially if you have to look for an apartment and not being there to look. Yeah. And you have to look for pictures, and I said, okay, when I got to my job through Eindhoven, I was we have an apartment here if you want. I was okay, that's perfect, I'm taking it. Later on I'll figure it out.
Okay, so you're kind of cool about it.
Yeah.
I want this and this and this.
Yeah.
You were already very happy. Yeah, you were very happy that we arranged that. Okay.
Yeah, that really helped. That really helped a lot. It saved my life. Yay.
No, well, that's awesome. And you've also now recently moved into a new place.
Yes.
And you enjoying it?
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. It's bigger and cheaper than my old place. And now, I'm closer to work now, 15 minutes instead of 30.
That's not a difference,
I don't have to cycle 30 minutes now, I have just 15, and everything's close. There's a Jumbo next to it, there's a Lidl next to my house. Literally, I just need to go downstairs.
That's
Jumbo,
nice.
Lidl, Albert Heijn.
Everything.
There's a doctor in front of it, a dentist also near the Jumbo. I became lazy at this point. I really became lazy now. I just have to go downstairs, and that's it.
Was it still very tough to find the place when you?
Actually, this place was I was really lucky because I'm also sharing, but still it's a colleague that's working the opposite shift of mine, same department but after opposite shifts. Mm-hmm. And then when I'm working, he's not working, and when he's working, I'm not working. So it's a win-win.
Yeah.
And then a colleague of his team said his parents were moving. And then they referred us into that apartment. So that was really lucky because I heard it's really nice to find apartments in the area I'm currently at.
Okay, cool.
That's really nice.
Oh, awesome. And obviously, Eindhoven does a lot, but we're also not perfect. Nobody's perfect in life. We're always trying to improve and be better because that's the only way that you grow. So is there anything you think Eindhoven can improve on?
I would say probably maybe talking with the candidates, of course once they are, then tell what you will face it, let's say, once you get here in the Netherlands. For example, they said when I moved here, I was your house is 9 kilometers from your job, and I was okay, I think 9 kilometers, okay, it looks not too bad, but then that was actually quite the cycle. It was actually quite the cycle, and I was not used to cycling that much. And also, for example, rain gears and stuff, or for example, here it rains a lot. That's basically your daily thing. You just rain when
There should be some rain.
Exactly.
At least once.
Okay. If it's not raining, then it's something weird, basically.
All right.
But just going through okay, you should get these, you should get a rain gear stuff. That really helps to get to know that because I had to go through that after a few days of struggling. Okay. I found out about that after a few days of struggling. Yes.
So the obvious things.
Yeah, exactly. Because for you guys,
it's
it's just a normal thing that you don't really think about. It's just natural.
Yeah.
But for people that are from the outside, it's
Okay.
Not much of a thing.
We can actually work
Especially
on that.
in Brazil, it rains a lot, but yeah, in the area I used to live in Portugal, yeah, didn't, like just rain for like a lot for 1 month and then
And
not,
then it was
not much during the whole year.
okay. So there's like a few topics we can actually
No, for
maybe
sure.
add it into our onboarding. Because would that be something that you would like to hear before moving to the Netherlands, like in the interview, for instance, or when we're proceeding with the contract, or do you say, okay, when you of course arrive here?
When you arrive, like for example,
Okay, so
you
when
guys
it
help me out
practically
with
starts.
like, oh, you should get a bike here, you go to the doctor here, like, okay, you should get like also rain gear, like,
Yeah.
okay, this is quite a cycle more or less, like we'll see like, I don't know, 30 minutes, 40 minutes cycling.
Well, that's
But actually,
like,
you can also like you can really prepare someone for that if the person is not really used to cycling. So
Yeah.
you could say like, oh, it's just 30 minutes. The person, okay, that looks fine. And then you get there and just the people like the person's just dying cycling. Like, this is not just 30 minutes.
how many minutes? Oh, I'm only
This is not just 30 minutes.
okay. All right.
Longest 30 minutes of my life.
Yeah.
And you look at it like it's just been 5 minutes.
Okay. All right, that's a good one. Thank you so much for pointing that out for us.
Yeah, because you wouldn't necessarily think about that. And I mean, I also didn't think about that because I thought, 5K, 6Ks to Eindhoven from Veldhoven, that's not far. Almost died. And I mean, I'm not a cyclist, so for me to get, I mean, I had to relearn how to cycle when we got here because I hadn't been on a bicycle in 12 years. So I was quite wobbly, but I mean, I did it. But yeah, it's something to get used to, but I suppose once you're used to it, it's not really a thing. And the rain is also, like it rains in South Africa, but the rain here is also different. Like it might rain for 5 minutes out of the blue. So it's always nice to be prepared, I think. It's,
And you also learn new skills cycling. For
New
example,
skills,
cycling without your hands.
Oh, no, you shouldn't do that.
I do that all the time, especially when it's cold. I just put my hands in my pockets and I just keep cycling. I got that ability. Like at the beginning, I was like, okay, 5 seconds, and then I put it back, and then 5 seconds, and then I got used to it. I was like,
And now
It's
you're
a
just
very
chilling.
Dutch thing, though. Like you see a lot of guys
I know.
cycling in winter with their hands in their pockets. I'll fall right off my bicycle.
And the earpiece in. And
There's
then
your
just,
party
like,
trick.
vibing.
He's cycling without hands. Look, Mom, no hands.
Well, yeah,
Oh,
I guess that's the thing. You do see it quite a lot, actually, now that you mention it.
exactly.
It's interesting.
But it totally depends on the bicycle.
True. I used to have a manual bike, and that didn't work out much. But I have an e-bike now, so I go a little bit faster, so it's easier to control.
Yeah,
without
to
my
control
hands.
yeah.
Makes
Well,
sense.
with the old practical Oma fiets, that was actually easy because I don't know why, but it just centers the.
With the,
It's like a very practical old bike, and we call it a Oma fiets.
with the mandje, the
Well,
basket
then,
in
but
the
without
front.
the mandje, because like I have a bicycle now with them. That's not a mandje; it's a bucket. And now
Okay.
I can't do it because it's too heavy. You know, it moves
yeah.
your. Yeah, that's just dangerous. So just be safe, please.
Okay.
Yeah, always be safe. That's the most important thing. But it is a cool party trick.
There's your party trick.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so you have been here for quite a while now already. Well,
9
at least
months,
yeah. Well,
10
that's
months.
that's quite a while. So what has it been like for you?
It's been nice. I like cold. Like people said, oh, it's so cold here. Like honestly, I don't mind about cold because I kind of like cold. It's like don't really mind. So it's even colder than Portugal, so I don't really mind.
You just put on layers.
Yeah, exactly. And then also the summer here it's like a bit more humid. So it's
Really, is it?
It is hot here in summer.
yeah. It's a bit humid. So it's you just sweat a lot.
Well, yeah, I kind of do understand the humid part.
Yeah, I enjoy the summers here though. I think it's a vibe.
But
But it's nice.
You enjoyed the summer here?
Yeah. But it does like that one or 2 days that like
You must.
you just melt. But it's nice. I like the Netherlands and
Cool.
in general yes.
All right.
Cycling it's good for your own body. It's
Well,
healthy.
that is true.
It's
They
healthy.
say
It's
cycling
healthy.
and swimming is actually one of the two best things to keep your normal spirits and health
and
and,
you see
everything
more,
going.
I think. like when you're cycling to work versus driving to work.
Exactly.
It's a lot more scenic.
You get to know like places where you go. Just except like if you go by car, you just go by roadways or something, streets. But if you just like take like shortcuts and these kinds of exploring with your bike.
You're gonna be mountain biking. Let's
Let's
go left here.
Yeah.
That's gonna be like a wobbly. I imagine that. Okay. All right. You like cycling. Now, is it better or is it still?
It's much better, but I'm going to be real with you. Since I started driving, I have not touched the bicycle. But in summer, we do cycle quite a bit. Like to go and cycle, have a picnic.
It's really nice in summer. It's like that wind, and then you're just cycling, and you just let go. just kidding.
Very relaxing.
Exactly.
Then.
It's really good.
Okay, if you get the hang of it first.
Yeah, and it is good exercise, so it's nice. No, I do enjoy it, but yeah, I do like driving now. Not gonna lie.
And what would you say is the biggest difference between living in the Netherlands and Portugal or Brazil? Or name both.
I mean, from Portugal, like to somewhere like it's already Europe, so you have some things that you're already used to it. And weather, where I used to live was a really desert-like weather. So in the cold, it's that cold that really like burns basically your skin.
Yeah.
And then in summer, it's like 47 degrees. It's really hot. So, but it's dry, so it's like you just burn.
Yeah.
Instead of melting. And,
I don't know if burning is better than
exactly.
melting.
But you can maybe understand it. But so yeah, from Portugal it's like okay, I'm already more into the European environment. But from Brazil, yeah, it's a bit different. Yeah, it's quite different. I haven't been there in 5 years, so things changed there probably.
Of
so.
course. Well, probably the move from Brazil to
Yeah.
Portugal was more of a change.
Yeah, exactly. So
than-
like I was like
yeah.
I went through more the cultural and
Yeah.
cultural shock, let's say, coming to Portugal than Portugal to the Netherlands. So it wasn't too bad when I moved here.
I can imagine that.
I was like, okay, I'm just going like next door basically because
Next
everything
door,
in
yeah.
Europe, because everything in Europe was so close.
Yeah.
Like literally in Brazil, like just for going to another district, you take like, let's say, some of them you take 5-6 hours, and then here like in 5-6 hours you get from.
You're in Paris.
In Paris, yeah. Basically Paris, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's
Okay. Cool.
No, it is really cool. But obviously, like you said, that the moving from Brazil to Portugal was a bigger move than moving from Portugal to the Netherlands. But even when you moved from Portugal to the Netherlands, were there any concerns that you had before coming here? Or like, what was maybe your biggest worry, if you had any?
When I moved, yeah, I was a bit about the housing, but also like before I was offered the apartment, but then I got an apartment, so that's okay. One less thing for me to be concerned about. And then I think cycling to work every day and having to like face like going like in summer it's not too bad, but like in the cold, I got here like beginning of March, so it's still cold. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to prepare myself. There will be days that I'm most likely will be like get sick, but I haven't gotten sick yet. Honestly.
That's good.
Exactly.
Yeah, that is really good.
Wow.
I don't get sick easily apparently, so.
Oh, but that's great.
And
Keep it up.
yeah. So I think the rain, let's say, yeah. Get facing the rain, and I think that's pretty much it.
And has it been as bad as what you were worried about?
That was just normal to me. Really, really funny actually. Like me concerned back in the day when I got here. It was like, let's just chill, just another day to work. Yeah, people are like, oh no, it must be so hard for you to cycle to work every day. Cycle like 30. When I say to people like, oh, how long does it take from your house to work? I was like, at the time, because I just moved, so it's 15 minutes now, so it's perfect. But before it was like 30 minutes. It was like 30 minutes. They're like, oh my god. I was like, yeah. And
It's
that's the
not that
problem.
bad,
It's not
yeah.
that bad. It's just chill.
So you get used to it.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh,
It's
well,
nice.
that's awesome to hear. And well, now that you're saying you get used to it, and obviously you've been also working here for a little while, what does your typical work day look like? From the time you wake up, what's a day in the life of Lucas look like going to work?
Well. Well, I work in shifts, so like 1 week I work like early shifts, and then the other week I work for late shifts. So early shifts like say 6:30 to 3, and late shifts from 3 to midnight. And then say I wake up and I wake up in the morning. No, just kidding. I wake up. Sometimes I have coffee at home, but but I just basically get all my stuff, prepare. If it is raining, I'll go to grab my rain gear. Then I'll get in my bicycle. I'll get to work. 30 minutes now in 15. And I honestly, people judge me about it, but I like to get work early. So in early shifts, I get there. Okay, I get there in 30 minutes earlier, and then on late shifts, I get there an hour earlier. Just to chill there.
Just to
chill,
get into
yeah.
the vibe a
I
little.
chill, have my coffee, and then I look through emails and like prepare myself for what's coming. Just kidding.
For what day we're gonna have.
Yeah. But just get into work, and then I go through the whole day of work. Then I go home, essentially.
So
Okay.
just get straight stuck into it, and it's your day.
Pretty much.
All right. What do you like most about the company that you're currently working for?
Oh, free coffee. Yeah, like at least here, like where I work, you have like the machines, the coffee machines, and you don't have to pay for that. It's so nice.
And is it nice coffee?
I mean, it's not top quality, but it's not bad.
But like for work coffee, it's good coffee.
It's good enough. I have espresso, so it's espresso. It's hard to
Mess that up.
mess it up. Yeah, it's just always strong, so it's nice.
And like, are there any fun things that you do at work that are also like, I don't know, different to what you would maybe do in your home country? Is there like something different or fun about the current company that you work for that sticks out to you?
Except for the coffee part, also this tap for sparkling water. Just kidding.
Your sparkling water.
I'm having sparkling water now. So. But I like it. So but I think that's it. Cannot think of anything else. Let me see. Oh, there's a Albert Heijn there.
Really?
Near the job. So I just go there and buy stuff and then go.
And there you go.
Yes.
Nice and
it's really
convenient.
nice. Really convenient. Oh god. Then sometimes when I forget to make lunch or dinner, I'll just go there and buy something and go.
And then you can.
Yeah.
That's very
really handy.
practical.
That's really handy. So yeah.
Yeah, at least that they think about that. Like, if you not got time to go shopping, well, it's fine. There's a shop at work.
That's nice.
True.
All right. And about the job that you're doing,
Yeah.
what do you like most about that?
Well, I work in troubleshooting, and that's basically the things I like the most. Troubleshooting through like the system that I'm working. It's a high-tech company, so I like troubleshooting. Also, the managing part is also really nice. So
And
I would say
probably you don't have a day which is the same the next day.
not really.
Is that something-
Sometimes it's chill. Sometimes it's but it's always different. So it's
Yeah.
not really the same.
Do you like that about your job as well?
Oh yeah, I like it. Really like it.
It's cool. I can imagine it's nice to, well, at least we also don't
Yeah.
have days that are the same, but some people work really well on days that are practically the same every day.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't mind, but I like when it's something like different every time. So
Yeah.
it's like, okay, let's face this challenge today.
It keeps you on your toes, right?
Yes.
Well, it's probably also like a high-paced environment where you have to adapt pretty quickly sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. So you have like, okay, let me think. So like you're expecting something, then suddenly you have something else, and then you're okay. Let me just think. Then I'll start. Okay, I have to troubleshoot. Okay, I have to do this, and managing a lot of stuff. So
Yeah.
it's always nice and keep the mind sharp.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
Yeah, it is really cool. And yeah, obviously we've covered the work aspect, and it's always nice to have a laugh. Not that we haven't had plenty of laughs. But is there anything that, obviously since moving here, that you now look back on and laugh at? Like something that you struggled with and now you just laugh and be like, oh my word, can't believe that was a big thing in my life, or I don't know, a blunder, or...
Except for the cycling part.
Except for
Damn it.
You're not allowed to say
Damn
that.
it. I've said it too many times.
anything.
I would
that you
say
think of.
the rain. Because like instantly, like, except for people in the Netherlands, when you just have rain, it's like, okay, let me just run. I have to like grab your umbrella or stuff. Or if it's just drizzling, you just, okay, let me go home. Like, or just grab your umbrella also. But honestly, it's like sometimes it's just drizzling. I see people like just put their hoodies and just keep walking. And then like I got used to it. Like, for example, I went for holidays in Portugal to visit my family. And then it started drizzling, and everyone's like, okay, let's go fast to the car, like, grab an umbrella. And I was like, what's the deal? It's just drizzling. Like, and I was just chilling there, having like rain, and like, it's okay. And I just kept walking. Okay. It will dry. Oh my God. It will dry. Yeah.
Yeah, you're getting it.
I think that's the main concern.
Dutch
If
guy.
yeah, exactly. The main concern people in the Netherlands, I would say, is to have a drying machine. Because that's the main essential thing. If you don't have one, you're like, how am I going to dry this? You get all soaked at home.
Radiator.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right, okay.
Oh, that's really funny that she's like, I just can't get over it. It'll dry.
It would dry. It would dry.
It's such a positive mindset to have. Like, I want to think like that. It's a really nice way to think.
There's been days that I got
dry.
will
Yeah,
dry.
so
There's been days that I got home and I was like, okay, it's like it's just so soaked, it's like so like, completely, and I was like, no,
I'll dry.
it would dry. It would dry.
You should frame it on the wall.
Yeah.
I will dry. It will dry. You will be
Lucas.
fine.
You'll be fine. Yes.
Oh, that is brilliant.
Oh wow.
And obviously, let's say besides the rain and, I don't know, the cycling, is there any other thing in the Netherlands that was like a really big culture shock for you moving here compared to like coming from Portugal and Brazil? Well,
Oh wow.
Well.
We have to get ready, Tiffany.
You have a toast. You have butter. And then you have the chocolate sprinkles on the top. That's for me, this is like a big culture shock thing. And I was like,
I was waiting for something like very big. I was like, oh
and I was
my
looking
God.
at it. No, it's just good. But that's I was like, the first time I saw this, like, are you being serious that you're eating that? Like for lunch,
Why?
for example? Or, like, okay, breakfast, I wouldn't judge someone having that for breakfast. Because I will say, okay, that's okay, except, but for lunch, I will judge people. If I'm just kidding. I won't judge people, but I'll be like,
I will judge them very badly.
I will judge them, but I'm just kidding. But it's just weird because, like, at least in Portugal and Brazil, we have like lunch or big meals.
Well, probably. I don't know if that's in Portugal as well. They just have 2 warm meals a day. Or is that not in Portugal?
What?
Like a warm dish.
What do you mean by one dish? In this case?
Like your
soup?
lunch is like warm.
Yeah.
And then your dinner is as well.
Yeah.
Like you don't eat bread in the morning, bread in the afternoon, and then...
Definitely not.
some.
Unless you have like a sandwich or something. Unless you have a sandwich, so that's people like a sandwich for
lunch,
for
yeah.
lunch. But
Yeah. Broodje kaas.
Die Dutch way.
And what was there like with... Maybe there is like a I don't know how to pronounce that word, but mannerism?
Mannerism.
Well, that was what I was going for.
Yeah, I got it. Don't you
Like,
worry.
for instance, we always hear as Dutch people that we're very direct and sometimes can be a little harsh. Was that something that you've experienced that you were like, oh my God? Or was it something that you just gradually got accustomed to?
honestly, this might be like a European trait, I would say, because also in Portugal, I have to, like, in Brazil, we're not very direct. So I was like, okay, yeah, it was like, I just tried to,
Yeah.
But like in Portugal, they're really direct. So.
Okay, so that
So I
wasn't
got,
that big of a...
yeah, that wasn't like big of a thing for me. So like I got used to it.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's nice to hear.
Yeah, it's obviously interesting.
Even like when I
to
have
hear.
like for example, my grandma coming over to like from Portugal, she would be like, oh, Molly, you're being so rude. I was like, no, I'm just being direct. Like, just everyone does that.
Just honest.
Yeah, just being
Just
honest.
honest.
Exactly.
Because I guess that's where the miscommunication usually is. That people, like, honest and direct,
Yeah,
I think they're almost identical.
exactly.
But for some other people, it's like, no, it's
You're
just
being
the
rude.
way you said. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're being rude, but it's
Yeah.
not. You're just being like straightforward.
Yeah.
Like, it's just direct to the point.
Yeah.
But it also depends, obviously, what you're saying. And I don't ever think directness should be interpreted as rude, because rude
Yeah.
is rude.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Depends also in the context,
Mhm.
I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
think
agree with that.
Context is always like, yeah, I
I
don't
think
know.
that's there.
If
Yeah.
you had a bad morning and I don't know, didn't brush
yeah.
your hair, and somebody's like, oh, it looks like you didn't brush your hair. Okay, that's maybe
Okay,
rude, right?
Mr. Obvious Idol.
I know.
I don't know if I think that's rude. Cause
Or
Like,
let's say, I don't know.
know.
Or if you like, I don't know, you're.
Vivica, you didn't brush your hair today.
Or it's like, I don't know, that outfit just looks terrible on you. Then maybe that's a bit rude. Dependent on how close you
Yeah.
are with the
Okay.
person.
Yes.
Yeah, also, yeah, that
Exactly.
depends.
I mean, if it's your sibling, then how they can take it. Like,
Yeah. There's like
you're
a
like,
thing
what
there.
are you wearing? Like, no, please.
There's no, just leave me. Come on.
Just leave me,
Yeah,
yeah.
just leave me, leave
It's
me.
my fashion. Because that's normally the only appropriate answer, especially with my sister. But it's just, yeah, it's obviously interesting, the directness, because, you know, in South Africa, it's like you said in Brazil, you do this. So it's never, you never really know where you stand with somebody, because it's
Yeah.
always like windy around the bush type thing.
Yeah.
Whereas I always know, if I've annoyed Vivica, not that I don't think I have, but I know you would tell me.
Yeah. Yesterday I was joking about it when you were eating your cracker. We were talking
Because I talk a lot.
And then she was telling me something, and I was like, "Well, now just shut up and eat." And she was looking at me like, "I know you, so you're kidding, but." But I just had like a straight on serious face, and then at the end I started smiling, and she was like, "Okay."
She was just joking.
No, because Kiana always says to me that I'm always the last one to finish eating, because I want to tell my stories and tell me about my day, and then the eating part doesn't really
It
happen.
becomes sideways. You just like, okay, let me speak first and then I'll eat.
Yeah, exactly. So I always joke that sometimes I talk too much, and Vivica's, because I have this thing in my hand, I'm busy eating my rice cake, and she's like, just eat your rice cake.
If you say you're talking too much, then just
Eat your rice cake. Did you see?
Hours later. You're like, it's still there. You're waiting.
You're like,
But that's where it's direct. It wasn't mean. I didn't take it a bad way.
because I was actually kidding. Like, I was just joking because I thought it was funny that
It
you were
was
saying,
funny.
yeah, I just talk a lot, and you know, and everybody's always saying that I talk a lot, and I was like, well,
Case in point.
well, anyway.
Oh,
God.
but
Yeah.
thank you so much for joining us, Lucas. It has
Thank
been.
you for inviting me.
You're very welcome. It was a
Yeah.
pleasure to have you here again.
Stop it.
No, it really was, and thank you so much. And yeah, until next time.
Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom.